Welcome.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again here
Today
on Weird Games with Papa Weird.
and Weirdling.
Alright. Hopefully our mics are doing their thing. Alright.
Yeah.
Still working with them. I tried to listen to the other one on the playback. I think it was okay. I'm just trying to make sure that they sit in the right place so they can hear us both. Both. Anyway.
Change a long time.
Sure. Did we introduce ourselves? I think we did.
Yeah.
Super professional. Alright. Change log time. Alright, how far are we going back? Just the 5 days, right? Oh, it's been 5 days already. Just had stuff going on. Alright, and someone was sick. Who was home sick?
Me
Friday?
and the other one.
Yeah, you and the other one.
And the other one was sick today as well.
Oh, okay, I think we're up to this. Oh, that's right. We didn't have to draw anything because we'd had all the other drawings, right? We'd already sort of gone through that.
Yeah.
Have we not? I think so, because we were just... Oh, there was only the one day where we talked about the loot. We didn't actually draw anything up that day, right? There's the bit of the difference. All right, so... having a look at where they have ended up as far as, like, having a look at my... researches again, right, and sort of actually getting ahead and designing stuff, right, trying to catch up. Where they've ended up is here in June, right? June being...
It's June already?
It is 100% June already.
So like halfway in the year already?
Not quite, about 15th we will be. Distracting me. Okay, so the idea of this is that I think you could pull up, if you wanted to, you could go over, and if you have a look at the actual first page of that screen on the operas, right, go over to the first page, and
where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? Where did the mouse
you
go?
have to find the mouse cursor, right, chase it down. Did you find it?
Oh, it's on, yeah.
Okay, alright, so that one, and switch over to the videos, alright, are we working? Okay.
Yeah,
so you can see that. Planar geography. I'm not sure which one this version's from. It might be a 5e or something. Yeah, sure. You have to like move it around at the bottom of the screen or whatever. So the idea is that you have all these prime worlds in this multi-planar thing, right? So they've gone from one prime world to another domain.
Where did they go from?
Well, they went from one of the prime worlds into Gehenna from their prime world, and then well, I think they got they went through a small bypass through the astral sea. So essentially, once you've gone into the astral sea, which Gehenna they went to and which prime material plane they come back to is all up for question, right? So
yeah.
But here we've ended up on the way back. Now, if you have a look, you'll see one's the deep ethereal. It says there.
Right there.
Okay, so the idea is that on the border of the deep ethereal, you see all these different border realms of different sizes and shapes that sort of sit in between.
Border.
Okay, some more on the side of the ethereal, right, and on the side of the elemental planes, right, and some more on the side of material. Okay, so this one sits somewhere in the deep ethereal as a sort of like, domain of its own plane, right? Where?
Like right there?
No, not down the bottom. Somewhere closer to the material plane, but which material plane we're not sure. It's not that close to the elemental plane. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because it's its own domain. It's locked in here. It's under the control of a domain master. All right, so they have to... Sorry? Yeah, sure. You can change the screen back over and come back over here. Alright. So the idea is that they're in their own domain, okay, and the domain is held over, and we'll sort of spoil, this is for July, okay, June and July tie into each other, and it's a bordered area. It holds the copy of the fort house, all right, and the general surrounds of the fort, and also the township, okay, so there's going to be like a little bit of a creek river system out there somewhere and cross over it into, well, it won't be lava and mountains, okay, that's the one big difference. It's certainly not lava and mountains. Once we get outside this primary house where they step back into, that we're designing today and talking about, we can talk more about what the actual border ethereal domain looks like. Okay, but there are some things that happen in this border ethereal domain. You have to have the Dark Lords of the domain, all right? This is all sort of Van Richten stuff, all right? This is out of the Ravenloft guidebook, okay?
Ooh, that sounds spooky.
Yeah, sure, spooky. Some people go for trying scary or terrifying. I don't think Van Richten... I'm not sure if it's like...
Something other than water today.
Oh yeah, here we go. Ice green tea.
No, ice peach tea.
Ice peach tea. How very fancy. All right. So the domain is ruled over these 2 months, and in the first month we're going to deal with the house and the township, same as we did last month, and then we're going to move in the second.
Have the maps drawn already.
We have a general layout of where some things will be. The maps haven't been drawn or anything like that. The houses and stuff will be in different places. This house will probably be sort of like a mirror, immediate mirror. The rest of the surrounding areas will have some similarity to where they came from, but it's not just going to be a copy, because the entire topography and layout of the land is entirely different. Like I said, they're not on the side of a mountain anymore. You know, right? They're not going to fall off a mountain for miles and miles into a lava gully. All right. So, but yes, just for a second, please allow me to explain. Okay. This domain is ruled over by Dark Lords. All right. So they have, in this first area where they have the fort and the township, is ruled over by vampires, essentially a group of vampires that we will get to later on. Okay. We will design those vampires towards something I have in mind. We'll talk about it later. Okay, now the next month in July, the next part of the domain, which is actually the main part of the domain, is ruled over by the actual ruler, and the ruler of the vampires, essentially, because the vampires are going to be quite primal, so they're not going to be very smart. So the smart creature here that rules over all of this domain is an elder brain. All right.
That rhymed.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay, so the elder brain ruling over this area obviously has probably some illithids and probably some other slave creatures working underneath them, which we will get to later. That's another thing where we'll roll some dice and actually work that out. But because for the first part of it all, it's all going to be ghosties and ghoulies and dead peoples and stuff inside this fort area.
Scary.
maybe a bit spooky. All right, so what we need to do first is, for today, we're working with the upstairs area again, okay? So just like we saw from the other part of the house, okay? Let's see if we got that up on the screen. Yeah, sure. We had this this main area here. So we're going to have the same, but it's going to be copied across to the other side. So essentially it's going to be like that long rectangle, which I'm horrible at drawing. It's the worst rectangle ever. Look, unless I'm actually drawing.
Trapeze.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm trying to do it on the quick here, right? We don't want to waste everybody's time. In the fly. Yes, I'm doing it in the fly. I mean, others would do it on the fly. I don't know why we do it in. Possibly around the fly, above the fly. Perhaps we shouldn't bother the fly. Okay. So we got the other side of the house, but it's going to be mirrored. Okay, mirrored. So we'll draw that up. Okay, so on the top floor, we're going to be first dealing with, okay, we're going to have the master suite, but that was on the other side, and we had the room, right, the other guest room that was sitting down that back corridor, and then we had the stairwells up, right? Okay, pretty sure that's something like how it went. All right, very good. So the idea will be that, do we want to, for encounters wise, because this is where I was looking at, don't mind me a little bit ago. Korean green. All right. Lovely. On court, actually. Sorry, don't mind me coughing. Get
Choking on the green tea.
I'll fix that up in post edit. That's the thing that happens. Sure. So the idea is that we need some ghosties and ghoulies just to start. This house, this house, wherever it is that we're just sort of dealing with right now for this 5 days, we're going to do the 2 areas upstairs, and then we're going to do 3 areas downstairs for the 5 days. Okay, so this is upstairs, and this is the master's area, the master room and stuff. So they came in. It would have been the mirror at the bottom here. Okay, so this is the. Well, not yet. I would like to have this first area, right? to be a safe zone for them to fall back into when they're coming through the mirror, especially if they're doing so under duress, that they need to come through before they work out how to cut off the connection back to the other lands to stop demons, because from this point, not demons, sorry, fiends, the Loths, Yugoloths will be sending their forces through one way or another, so they have to get every one of their people through, whatever loot they're taking with them through, decide that they're not coming back, and that's it, sever ties to the mirror. Because when they're on this end, unless they have control, you know, like I think you said, what happens if they take the name of the Ultraloth that's coming with all of the reinforcements? Well, at that point, he works for you, and then you get one of the Yugoloths to now be ordered to guard your mirror. Okay, and that way you have a way back with whoever you manage to save and have relationships with on the farms and in the town, and anyone you had to, you know, work through that month to sort of like rescue yourselves or whatever, right? Any of the stories that happen, that either gets cut off or they manage to keep it one way or another. Okay, but they're going to step through into the house, and it's going to be all dimly lit and shadowy and like wispy and stuff, right? Like I'm not sure which horror ghosty movies you've seen, right? But there's a few of them that, like, the second you sort of walk into the interior, they sort of sap all of the light out, all of the orange and yellow hues come out, and it's all very sort of blues and sort of dank greens and shadows, unless they've got like a stark white light for like a torch or a light or something, right?
So someone,
yellow lamp,
like
maybe.
somebody used Will-O-Wisp on the entire house.
Is it now? Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to explain the nature of what people will feel from this domain. It's ethereal, so it's sort of soupy and difficult to walk through. Things that feel there existing, like to touch them, exist kind of as a memory, but they will exist while they're there. It's sort of like, but it's not real. It's essentially shadow drawn from the Shadowfell, made physical as a memory of the material plane before it moves off into the elemental planes. All right, does that sound clear?
So
that's
like
clear as dirt, right?
Got like blended and like, well, like
it's soupy grayness. All right, they're walking through soupy grayness, and you could think that maybe it's like a haze or something, like dust in the air with inside, but they're gonna find that when they move outside, that like that's all they're gonna be greeted with as well, just soupy grayness. All right, so we've got a new domain full of soupy grayness. All right, just to be clear, okay, and they get through the mirror. They can either destroy it one way magically, physically block it some way over the front of it, depending on what spells or magical weapons. Some of those magical weapons +2 might outright destroy it physically enough. They could dispel the magic inside it strong enough. I'm sure they've got options at this point, right? I'm sure they bought plenty of wizards.
Okay. I want to spell magic on the mirror, because I like the mirror.
And what they will notice, the one thing here I did write down, other than the fact of the Dark Lords and the nature of where we're going for the month, is that like there is a domain effect. Okay, there is something other than trapping them within this border realm. There is a domain effect. All right, so other than the soupy grayness, all right, that's one effect. Sure, okay, they're going to notice that straight away. But the big one within the soupy grayness is that there's going to be kind of like a dampener or a sapping effect on magical and like spiritual mental powers flowing throughout of people and being used and stuff like that. All right, so people casting spells and stuff. Okay, so if you are spell casting or divine casting, and I'm talking like even arcane tricksters and the ethereal knights and the like paladins and stuff like that, like everybody's getting affected by this, clerics, wizards of all kind. And what's going to happen is they're gonna get hit every time that, well, not even hit. This is a slow burn I'm working with here. All right, I want to affect their spell casting, and this is sort of like an intelligence test. Remember last month they were going to fall off a mountain if they failed a dexterity test. All right, so we tested their dexterity for a month off and on. So now we're going to test their intelligence. But this is going to get annoying. All right, okay, not for me as a DM, but for them. Okay, because every time they make a spell, they're going to have to roll intelligence test. All right. Okay, into DC. All right, intelligence test. The DC is very light. What did I write down here? I think I set it for like a 14. I was thinking, all right, yeah, 14. Okay, DC 14. Intelligence, all right, so that's not too hard. Any of your actual straight up wizard casters or something like that, or anyone with like a +1 or a +2, you know, and they got saves in it, so they got proficiencies. I mean, they don't even have to roll a 10 at that point, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is every time they cast a spell, they're making this roll, and if they fail, all right, if they pass, spell goes off. If they fail, spell goes off, all right? But they take on a failure, one point of the exhaustion. All right.
That's kind of bad.
Well, not for the first 1 or 2 points, all right? Like the question is how do you make exhaustion real and meaningful for people in campaigns, and where to put it in, and you know, like how to consistently use it so people know that it's going to be there, and then how do you put it in places where if they work themselves up, how they're going to force that really bad position, you know, like, oh no, I'm at 4 or 5 points of exhaustion, or the next 1 or 2 spells could kill me, but I really need to cast a spell, right? So this is going to put pressure on the casters to think about being super duper hardcore while giving the melee dudes a chance to run out with their magical weapons and just clear up lots of undead stuff and really kind of just shine as
I really need to
undead killers,
absolutely
you know?
nuke these 21 ghosties.
Well, there's some abilities like turns undead, they're not necessarily a spell, so they won't incur any kind of negatives, right? Yeah. So that's all right. But I mean, and probably be very effective here in this area. But like other ones, like yeah, any of the other divine spells or smiting or whatever like that is gonna hurt them. Okay.
Oh,
possibly because I don't. Yeah, because I don't
divine smite 500 times.
Yeah, because they said intelligence was a dump strat, right? So you see what we're doing here with this.
Wisdom, right. So I can divine smite.
Yeah,
better.
Usually they're the charisma, and also they'd probably have strength and dex and con and all that sort of stuff, right? So this really does hurt anybody who, except your barbarian friend with all of the shape-shifting abilities, right? They kind of get by. Okay, so the master room, these first couple of rooms for the master, and before they walk out into this corridor, these rooms and that mirrored room, these are safe essentially when they first walk in there, other than kind of getting their bearings and being like, oh, this place is exactly how it was, but wait, wasn't that door on the other side, and isn't this room weird, and why are we swimming through this murky grayness, right? So
why do I have
find myself
minus vision? Minus half a vision point? Like...
Well, we're not at that point yet. We're not get everybody having to need dark vision or something to see. All right, it's not that bad. It's more like we turned out all the lights in the house except for one, and that one doesn't have a white or even a yellow bulb. It's just a sort of grey manky color, and it sort of permeates everywhere. But you're afraid that if you turn it off, like all the light would just disappear instantly.
So like,
you know, right? So it's that sort of fleeting is what I'm trying to get at.
So like the light, it's like a white light just absolutely danked in dust.
Yeah, maybe if you put dust all over a white light until it was sort of muted down that far. Anyway, let's get over the lightness, okay? The greyness, it's grey. All right?
Grey.
You feel it? Everyone at home feel it? It's all grey, okay? Now, where are we? That's the one room. Safe space. We're going to move over. The guest room. This is where it's like, okay, I'm thinking we're putting some encounters into this place, and even some upstairs, right? Obviously. So we didn't have anything in the guest room before, even though we did have a guest room. I'm thinking we should probably put something into this room. Now, I do think, hello Gus and the barbarians, all right? I was thinking that for the guest room, we do have, which sits at the other side of the area here on the corridor with the stairs up. All right, very good. There's the other doorway. Okay, so the guest room here. We need a guest in there this time of a dead, undead kind of a variety. All right, now I do have something up over here. I will take the walk this time.
No.
Let me see.
Cables are gonna get tangled up.
No, I can walk around cables. Watch this. I have skills.
Ooh.
Okay.
Skills. SKILLZ.
All right, let's come over to here. Now, this is a whole heap of different stuff out of the Don John that sits across all of the books, going up from challenge like CR ratings 4 up to 12. Okay, considering that we now have a group of 12. Okay, so we can look distinctly at undead. Okay.
11.
No, they're 11 to... Oh, okay, yeah. Well, 12 is as high as we could go, even if they come in as a group of 11, yeah, and they hit 12 about mid-month. You're right. We should probably hit him with either 112 and a something. Do we have anything that's an undead there and that's popped up? And an Eidolon. This is in the Monsters of the Multiverse on page 114 there. If
you have Motom out?
You have that book there for you?
Yep, you had Motom out.
Okay. Okay, so what did I say?
What page?
114, okay.
Oh, I flipped to 113.
Okay, they also have a bone claw, which is also in that book there somewhere, which is something we could bring in.
It's one of those things from the first
show me
one.
just for a second here.
But like smaller.
What do we got?
Like the first book.
Yes, sure. I don't know. Yeah, they protect sites that deem holy. This place certainly isn't holy. I mean, you could have a foul version of one of these, but perhaps I'm not quite sure. No one's really protecting this house. The idea is that this house within this area is considered desolate. Everything's been destroyed and killed. It's been forgotten by the elder brain, the vampire, and everything. Yeah, everybody already been eaten and sucked dry in here, right? So I don't think anybody's leaving anything behind to protect anything. What do we got here? Well, there's something called a bone claw. Do we want to look at a bone claw on page 66 of the very same book that you're
What about your book?
Did you look at
that's a demon.
Did you look at the one that I did ask? Because I know that it is already an undead.
Bone claw.
Okay. What does that look like? Do we have one of those? Can you see that on the videos? I see. That's a.
But it's a large.
Yeah, sure, but it's a somewhat terrifying creature. All right, that could certainly be
scary.
Inside the that could be inside the guest room, guarding the down, the go down corridor, right, the stairway, and the corridor there at the entry to that guest room. And maybe if they go through that that corridor doorway and start to go down the stairway and make too much noise, maybe old Mr. Boneclaw can come up for a little bit of a how you doing and a welcome to my realm. What do you reckon?
Yeah, just out of the ceiling, just like drips out of the ceiling.
This is quite a big fight. If we put anything else into this house, it's not going to be this big. I was thinking we put something into the downstairs, either entry or kitchens, right? Some ghosties. But for now, if you want to put a bone claw in there, that can be the upstairs.
Do I write it in the guest?
Yes. Let me have a look. We're going to write it onto the page of work.
Here?
Yeah, one bone claw in there somewhere. Thank you very much, kindly, if you could. All right, we've got a bone claw. So how many actions they got? What are they looking like to be scary or not? They got multi-attack. They got 2 attacks. So I mean, by action economy, what do they got for 150 hit points? It's not too scary. AC 16. I mean, it's reasonable. If it gets to jump on something, look, shadow jump. It literally is within it, right? So it's sitting there within this dim light, which is what it would be considered. Okay, so very hard to see it. The door opens and creaks a little bit as they sort of see that they're going down the stairs, and this thing can teleport then up to 60 feet and start to do its thing. All right. It also has bonus actions to help it hide again and stuff. So also reactions. I mean, this thing is considerable in a pinch, but I mean, for a drawn out fight, it's going to get eaten, no problem.
Yeah, but say it gets the jump on the wizard.
Yeah, sure, the wizard, and then the wizard tries to cast its very first spell in, shield straight up to sort of defend itself, and then
gets a point of exhaustion.
There's a point of exhaustion as your spell goes off because they fail their saves, unluckily, right? So
you want me to go look at the ghosties or?
Let me see. Now, what we're gonna do next, okay, is we do have lesser ones up here. Let me see. We're going to just look for undeads at the minute. So I'm going to take out the aberrations, the elementals, and the monstrosities that I was looking through earlier. And we do have stuff we could put a banshee in there or 2, as well as something else, maybe a ghost to go alongside it, some combination of these, and put them in the downstairs section. This is what we're moving towards next. Let me see. What do we have in... let's move over to... the calculator here. What do we say there? There's 4 of them being about level 11. We're giving them number of monsters. Let's try 4 at 4 and calculate that down. So this is only a medium encounter. I mean, we could put that in as something simple in one of the rooms. Like I said, the kitchen. We could have the banshee, could be the chef and the sous chef, and the ghosts are 2 servers, right?
Ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, I'm skipping across to the wrong page already. Oh, skipping across to the wrong page. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. You wanna move across to your next page of your book? No, we're not. The ghosts aren't in that one. All right. Neither are banshees. Just wait. Put it off to the side. Okay. Let's swap again. I'll move over to my regular seat. Just take a seat. All right, and I'll move cables across here so we don't kill ourselves. All right, and we'll end up ghosts doing this doing this challenge off in Ghostland. Okay. So this is what we have. What we call him? One bone claw. All right, very cool. Okay, he's waiting in the guest room for somebody to come towards the stairway, waiting at the door. It's slightly ajar. All right, so not closed. You know what a jar is, right? Right.
Is it kind of like a skew? Or...
no, skews are different in the sense that a skew means like, oh, this is level and this is askew. A jar means there's the door, and a jar means open a little bit, right? So you can kind of see through it. A skew means off by angle. All right, so the door's ajar and it can look outside, just waiting for someone to come along because he's going to shadow pounce onto him.
Technically, if you look at the door from above, it would be askew.
I'm gonna askew you in a second. Seriously, like you're not gonna like it. All right, there's gonna be one ghost for sure. It's gonna be a tormented, troubled young spirit. Okay, so we got a guesty, a bone claw ghosty guest in the guesty ghost room.
A bone claw guesty ghost in the ghosty guesty guest room.
The weight of those books is breaking my table. All right, so downstairs entry. Okay, so we had the entry beforehand. Where's our door here? So the entry, we can either have for the downstairs. I was thinking we can put something either in what would have been the library or the parlor as cleared out. We could have it in the entry. We can put something in the kitchen. That's where I was thinking of putting these 4 ghosts and banshees, etc. Okay, they can be wailing and screaming away in there. Okay. So we'll probably do the first one first. Actually, hold on, let me see. This is the kitchen first. We'll do that. Okay, that's now sitting on the right hand side of the house, right? And it's got a parlor, and it has the hag's study in there, right? That was what was the hag's study. So, and then we had a kitchen. So what we'll have is this is a server's lounge, all right? This is where the servers have all of their equipment and stuff. Okay. All of their stores and dinner utensils, all of their linen, all of the extra equipment, and what am I talking about? The side tables and stuff like that. Whatever. There's an extra room over here. The hag used to have it. Yeah, but I was back of house, not front of house. Trying to talk about what they had at the front is sort of like it's not another world, but it's like on the other side. I'd rather call for the utensils or the plates or the bowls or the dishes or the ramekins or any of the other sort of stuff. What their furniture is and what they call their Manchester, all of their haberdasheries, all of their hangings and stuff like that. Like those beer mats. So those beer mats at the front of the bar, they have a particular name. Do you think I know that name?
Beer mat.
Beer mat, yeah. All right, so this is the entry, and we have the parlor and the banquet hall before, all right, and we also have the kitchen, and within this space we have, what was it, two banshees, all right, two banshees, all right, 2 banshees and 2 were they ghosties or whites? They were ghosties, right? Yeah. Just straight up ghosts. All right, I think they were CR4s. All right, so that's 4 CR4s. Okay, hanging out on this side of the house, making sure you don't mess up with their dinner service. Okay, obviously. You can ask them what they call the beer mats. All right, banshees and ghost times 2.
Hey Siri, what do you call the beer mat?
Are you Siri? We don't have there's no Siri in this room, right? Siri, you're not listening to me, are you?
Yes, Siri.
Okay, banshees times 2, ghost times 2. Okay, let's move on. All right, because we want to do it very quickly and flip back a day. All right, back to the other side, which was the entry and the long library, and also the way down to the basement. Okay, because this one doesn't have like a secret hidden arcana loft lair in there. All right, are you all right? You want to open the dice bag? Okay, you can do it. You can do it. All right. Okay, so at the entryway to the house, all right, we had the other room, and we had the very long library, okay? Gotta remember how we draw all this up and make it all backwards in my own head. In my very own head. All right, so we had this library here. Okay, we had a secret entrance over here. We had the secret entrance, which is now just a trap door, like not a trap door, like what do you call that, like a cellar entry door, cellar door down to a cellar. We get a cellar basement. All right, okay, cellar door.
It says basement on the next page?
I think it is. Did I say basement or cellar door?
Both.
I did. Basement, cellar. All right, very good. See, I got this planned out. I know where we're going. All right, sure. Now this is the other part. Do we want to put something down? Actually, we'll get to that now. What do we want to do with what was this library? This room is no longer a library, okay? So we wanted to do another kind of room in these fancy people's house, all right?
Another fancy
people house room to have. I was thinking we could have like a hunting room and have like all of these like hunting like animals up on the side of the walls.
Yeah,
but all of the, yeah.
But all of, yeah, like your idea, but it's just the bones of the animal.
Oh, I see. So not the animal heads, it's just the bone skeletal thing sitting out the side of the
face.
All right.
Like the bone face of like deers and like tigers and bears and stuff.
I can work with this. Okay, so we got the hunting lounge. All right, and we have the trophies here. Obviously skeletal. Okay, skeletal. Instead of corporeal, they don't have flesh and stuff like you're saying, and skin. All right, trophies are skeletal and of horror creatures, you know, right? They look like, what is that thing? That looks horrible. Look at all the tusks and the more on that. Oh, I wonder if that had skin and whatever, what that could be. And then they like make either various religion or nature or survival checks to determine it was like, that's the skull of this, you know, creature, you know, right? This is the skull of this, right? This is the skull of a human over there, right? So we'll have to do something like that. There'll have to be some mortal or humanoid remains in there as well, right?
And then there's just one like human skeleton just doing the Shakespeare pose, but instead of having a head, its skull is in its hand.
Okay, sure. You could do one where it's like a demon holding the human head.
Yeah.
Right? Or you could do it where it's
like a statue of the king vampire holding a human skull.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Okay, sure. So this room is trophies and statues. All right. They're all sort of skeletal in nature, horror. Yeah, sure. But no items in this point. Okay, this is just everything has been stripped out of this place, and like I said, the items here, like the chair is a physical chair. It does damage if you took it. You take force damage, but the constructive at it, if you were to look at it on that sort of like I think just detect magics and certain spells, would see it as being shadow magic, that it's formed of the essence of shadow, drawn out of the Shadowfell to have substance here. All right. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We've got a cellar door in the hunting lounge where we got trophies and statues, and they're all skeletal, and they're like horrific creatures and humanoids. All right, very good. I think we've only got one last room. What have we done today? We've done the upstairs where would they come in, and the guest room with the bone claw.
3.
The downstairs with the cellar door. And we've also the other side with the ghosties.
5.
And something in the basement cellar. All right. So if they want to go down there, where are we getting this creature from? Do we want to roll on one of the other lists, or
I'll roll?
Because I think we have in Xanathar's. Do I have Xanathar's out? No, I don't think I do. All right, just bear with me a second as I go to the library, and I'm back. Okay, I was pretty sure that in Xanathar's there were rolling tables for stuff like the Underdark. 4 levels. Here, have a look at this. Yeah, look at this. I got it already. I'm here. Have a look. Well, level 11 to 16, isn't it? Yeah, look, they've even got stuff like Minotaur skeletons on this. Oh, that looks great. All right, so here's what we want to do. You obviously need to roll a D100s.
And then we'll run it through the encounter generator.
Yeah, and maybe play with it and see how it's going. Do. All right, okay, so down in the basement cellars, this time is just a stock room with busted up. Okay, so we got the cellar, and we got the door for the stairways, the trap door up. And here in the cellar, We have mostly broken barrels and stuff. Crates, broken barrels, crates. They'll also find that any food they get here or create while in this realm, while giving them the nourishment, provides no real sort of sustenance and interest. Like, while it's able to give them enough to
like
live
you're in
by,
an aeroplane.
it's like airplane food. Is that how you feel about it?
It's like you're in an aeroplane, but 100 times worse.
All right, okay. So roll your D100. Let's have a look. What are we gonna fight down here in the cellar?
56.
56. 56. All right, that looks like it's 2d4 flame skulls. Oh, all right. Where's the flame skulls at? Which book is that?
2.
Do you know which book the flame skulls is in?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Oh, let's have a look.
7 flame skulls.
7 of them. All right, let's have a look. It's either in this book.
Hang on,
or...
I'll look up which one it is.
Flame skulls 134.
Oh.
I've already got it. Look at this. What happened?
Oh, you forgot to close the...
Oh, didn't we go back across to the other video?
Didn't.
Oh, we've been in the little screens. Little screen. All right, stop that. The other one, like, oh, okay, great. That's what we want down there. That's appropriate. Okay, you wanna hold that and show that off? How many? What are they? Challenge 4, and how many did you roll up?
7.
Do you wanna put that into the calculator?
Yeah, flame skull.
7 times CR4 flame skulls. All right.
Now I need a swap
flame
it back over.
Skulls. Very good.
Number of
Alright, is this gonna kill him?
7.
7 flame skulls.
Deadly.
Yeah, 4. Deadly. Oh, that's what you want, really. Like, that wasn't me. That was all rolls out of the books given to us by the Whatsieses. All right.
I mean,
so
it's
I think that's fair.
It's only like, if you took away one, it would be hard.
Yeah, but the problem with it is, yeah, sure. But the thing is, it's 7 things. So if they have multi attack, it's going to be, yeah. Look, they get multi attack. See, that's 14 attacks, right? So say you want to be mean, and you're like, the first person comes down. They don't know these things are just waiting in the little corners.
They like
and they just instantly they cackle first and instantly attack with a surprise round,
with
right?
Fire ray.
Yeah. So you're gonna hit 14, and say you got a some kind of ranger or rogue down there, probably going to have AC 19, 20. All right, so you've got 14. Do we have? That's what I mean. I'd have to go digging for 14 D20s in there.
I mean, I could.
Yeah, sure, you could. I think there's enough, but that's not the point. What do they take? It's a 3d6 fire damage. I mean, like, that's not too horrible, but I mean, if you take even 7 of those, that could be around average 70 damage. That's enough to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this. This is the one thing we're going to talk about. Look at this. Whatsie's printing. You know, we barely ever come into this book, really, and I'm going to have to glue this. And I've already been into gluing the player handbook several times, but anyway, what do we do?
8.
All right, so flame skulls. Let's sort it up, close it out. How many you got to? You got enough dice yet, or what? 14 we wanted, right?
9.
You can just roll 7 twice. Look, what do you got? 2, 4. There's 7. Roll that twice. See if you're hitting any over 20. And I think they had a plus. Oh my god.
I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they could crit. All right, you would roll 1 though, but how many of those hit? Only the nat 20, right?
Only the nat 20.
It depends how much I got for bonus. Actually, that 15 could hit. Anyway, let's move on.
And then roll again.
Sure. Oh wow, you rolled horribly. I think you only got your actual 1 crit that hit. I mean, that's still, what was it? 66 damage, right? Was it 66? 60-10, 3d10? Oh my god, I only just read it and it's already gone.
I'm doing 5d6 damage.
I'm trying to concentrate on so many moving parts here, and the barbarians won't stop moving around and threatening Gus with language. Okay. Look, I think that could be enough. How many minutes and hours do we go for today?
38.
I think that's plenty for everybody. All right, I think we've got enough. We've got no loots, all that sort of stuff. Probably going to be left later. This is a 2-month plan we're working with here. All right.
Yeah.
and we'll see the nature of how stuff goes. I mean, these guys be able to maybe clear out this house and the immediate area, and then they might sit down with their crafting station and their box for buying stuff and like start to make and craft stuff for a while and sort of not want to move for a couple of weeks. This, like I said, could be the perfect time when they want to go on break, you know, right? They sort of fortify the place, and
I mean, this is
6 months. This is half our year,
half the year,
and
so
half
like,
the campaign.
half the campaign.
So that'll be a great point. Yeah, they come in here, step over this, clear out this place, and they take a break, I think.
I
think I'd need a break after that.
That each player gets to like submit 2 items they want, and then like we just roll it up at that day and then see if they get it on like.
Well, they write it down in the ledger, and then they, you know, depending on how much their finances are, then they send it back, and you do the rolls based on that table we did up, all right? And then, you know, the ledger comes back the next morning inside the box, and then, I mean, like, they decide to either go with that quote, and actually start placing money in there or items in there to negotiate, or they write down in the ledger that they want to do a different deal, like, oh, that doesn't work out, you didn't have any of that, all right. And then once they get the stuff that they want, but if they are told that, oh no, that thing's not available when they're doing their request, then yeah, that's when they wait the month, like a real world month. But in the
real actual
in game month, right? So in that time though, they might also have some of the items that took like 9 months to complete, like the full plate mail, like prismatics, you know, dragon suit armors or something like that, right? That's going to be cut from 9 months down to 3 months. So they may be like, we're going to have a 3-month break here where we request several things that will give me 3 chances to request this item at least, you know, right? And they can plan out their time, you know, that's what you do as a DM to sort of manage their downtime. All right. And then have someone would be like, all right, well, while they're requesting stuff and managing the book, I'll do training with certain other people. Maybe a companion will teach me something, or I'll, you know, learn a different skill or learn a different armor proficiency or language or something, you know.
I just want a feat.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, feats are great. You do want them in this, and they're hard to get. And I think that's why they want to do it in the next version. Have more feats and open to people. But I mean, they're coming on level 11 now. They got to wait one more level to get 12. So then they would get access to another feat, right? Possibly, depending on how they've leveled and whether they multi-classed or whatever, right? Yeah. So anyway, I think we've done enough. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah,
do the thing.
Yeah, sure, no hassles. Hope you enjoyed sticking around today, and
we'll see you next time.
Yeah, stay weird if I don't kill myself on the cables. Bye now.
Bye.
After all that, where'd you put my cursor?